Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, yes, as you can see, I've changed hotels one more time. This is my fourth hotel in 5 days. That's right. And we still got one more to do. It's going to be very interesting. But as promised, I thought I would talk about everything that I found not great on the brand new Sun Princess. Well, I just arrived here in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, and I wanted to give you my first impressions after spending my first night here in a hotel and getting some sleep. And I want to give you my first impressions of flying into Singapore and a quick tour of Malaysia the first day. But as I was sitting here last night and I'm going around and searching the web and things for my job, etc., and I'm opening my email up and everything, it dawned on me that suddenly I'm not getting all the spam emails I normally get when I arrive in a foreign country. Normally, the minute I'm in a different country and I look for on the web, I'm getting all these spam emails. And I remember now I signed up for Incogni. And Incogni is what's helping me keep my spam and all that out of my emails. What's out there now is if you search the web, you're going to see all of a sudden all these spam emails coming to you. That's because every time you're searching, it's being collected by data brokers. And data brokers will then sell all that information, including sometimes your income, your job, where you live, your likes, your dislikes, etc., to companies so they can try and sell you their goods. And you're getting all these spam emails. Not only that, it can also be done and sold to like the dark web. Just in August, we had over 3 billion people had all their personal information stolen from a data broker. And Incogni is definitely helping me keep out of any kind of situation like that. They contact those data brokers and get you off those lists. And if you ask a data broker to get you off those lists, they have to do it by law. They might give you a hard time about it, but guess what? You don't have to do the fight. Incogni does the fight for you. They contact them. If there's any problems, they keep fighting on your behalf. And I've seen a drastic drop in all my spam emails. And as you know, my personal information, I want to keep protected as much as possible. And so I definitely appreciate Incogni doing this and getting me off of all those lists. So if you'd like to cut down on your spam and possibly getting your information stolen out there because of these data brokers, why not use my link down below and get up to 60% off by using my code FAMILY, or you can hit the QR code right here. And again, it really has cut down on all those spam, and I feel so much more secure in my personal information. Thank you, Incogni, for sponsoring this video. So first off, I'm going to discount the spacing for restaurants that I found because they've gone and changed all the restaurants around. They've switched restaurants, making the more popular ones have more venues, etc., like more space, etc. So they've already fixed those issues. There are a few issues though that are still continuing, and the main issues I think are basically there's not enough space in the venues. For instance, Princess Live, very small space for 4,000 passengers. I know they've expanded the Piazza where they have seating and everything around it, which is great when you're listening to music playing like some violinists or something along those lines, or an orchestra or something. But they're also doing game shows, which I'm not sure I like as much as when they're in Princess Live. It doesn't feel as intimate. It doesn't feel as, fun where everyone's participating as much. It's like we're now watching somebody participate in the game show instead of feeling like you're participating in it in a more enclosed area. So Princess Live and the Piazza's big, but really game shows should really be done in a venue like Princess Live, where more people can get in and you don't feel like you're on the spot to hundreds of people around you plus all the noise that goes on in the piazza, etc. Different venues, there's restaurants there, there's all, there's other bars there. It makes a big difference. But all of that really does, it is minor when it comes to the two main concerns that people had, and that was their two main entertainment venues, the new arena and the dome. Now the arena is a circular, it can change the seating, it can add seats, it can take seats out. It's a whole new design, it's very high tech, it works wonderfully when you're watching it. The trouble is, shows are still basically aimed towards the front. Now there was one show that was really well done, and it really did use the 360 more than the other two shows. Where the other two shows were, well, technically three shows, were, if you weren't in those first rows like this in front of you, you're looking to the side and you're arching your neck and you're not getting a full angle. For instance, having the screen at the back of the stage doing all these movements. At one point during the pirate performance, it had the ship sailing away. So you had the nose of the ship like this facing out to the front, and you had the ship sailing away, and the screen made it look like it was leaving port and pulling away, etc. Well, where I sat on the left-hand side, in the premier seats, by the way, I could not see the screen. I did not know it was pulling away because the other things of the set were there in the way. And don't forget, you have 4,000 passengers on this ship when it's full, if not more. That's double occupancy, 4,000 passengers. So even if this theater held 900, people, that's still only 1,800. That's not even half of the amount of people being able to see a show. And if you've ever been on a Princess show, people love their Broadway shows. It is the most popular shows they put on in the theater. People go there early to get seats, and now you've got to get there even earlier because really, people want those first seats. They don't want the side seats. They avoid the side seats and only take them after the front is all taken. I went to 4 different shows, and it was the same thing every single time. The minute the doors open, people rushed to those first 2 sections. And then everybody came in and looked up and said, all right, I guess we'll sit over here. Or some of them just left. And we're talking not just the normal 45 minutes to an hour getting there early. People were getting there an hour and a half to 2 hours early now because they know those are the best seats in the house. Period. It really is. So that's an issue. Also, the dome. Great concept. Great place to spend the afternoon if they were playing some live music or to go up and do a yoga class early in the morning. Just hang out. It's not always hot. It's slightly air conditioned up there. Plus you have views as well as the indoor-outdoor pool where you can jump in the pool from inside, swim outside. Great concept there, but they also have the dome shows. Now the dome shows are short 30-minute productions and they're fun, they're great to watch, the cast is very talented. However, there's only 250 seats, which means if you put on 2 shows of a performance, 500 out of 4,000 people get to see those shows, and that's only if somebody doesn't go see it again. I don't know how many people I talked to said, nope, we're not even bothering with the dome show because you have to get there so early. And they're not kidding. I literally had to go to get a really good seat in the dome one that I want to sit in. You know, I'm fussy. I like my front row seats. I know where I want to sit. I literally had to get there 3 hours early, which is not how you want to spend your cruise vacation, right? And so you got to do that 3 times. Well, that's 9 hours plus the arena shows, 2 hours each for 3 shows more. That's 15 hours of my cruise vacation. I'm basically standing, sitting, waiting for something to start if I want to have the seats that I do. Now, the problem is, Princess is kind of a victim of their own success. They've made some very great shows that people want to see, casts that are very engaging, very talented. People want to see these shows. The trouble is, there's not enough space for everyone to see them. Now, on my transatlantic, they did go and bring a 3rd show, an afternoon matinee show. But when they're doing 7-day sailings in the Caribbean, and they're going to do 3 performances, they don't have enough time to do matinee shows. They're not going to do a matinee show when we're in a cruise port. So if they have 3 stops to 4 stops on a normal 7-day cruise, they're not going to do too many afternoon shows. So there's always going to be a case of people disappointed because they can't get in to see the shows. And they are worth seeing. They are some of the most energetic and fun performances I've seen in a while. Especially if you've seen the other shows like Bravo and Encore over and over and over again. This is something new and will, spark your interest all over again in the Princess performances. So yeah, the venues. They have more venues on board, but they're smaller than on their other ships, it seems. And that's a problem when you now have the biggest ship in your fleet and you're building more of these ships in the future. They really need to do something. And the biggest problem, as much as I say the theater, you have to wait a while, their biggest problem is the dome. The amount of time you have to wait to get into a dome show is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And when you say that only 1/8 of the people can get in to see a show on any given cruise, that's not a good number because you've made it a very big priority entertainment venue. I don't know what the solution is. Do you make it a paid event now? Do you make it, everybody's got to get a ticket? Do you get 2 casts in the dome show and put on 4 performances a night? I don't know what the solution is. I really don't. And I don't think we're going to hear in the near future any real solutions for those main issues. If you're not a person who likes to go to the Broadway shows or the Dome show or anything, I think you're going to absolutely love the Sun Princess. And even if you're that person who loves the Broadway shows like I do, there's enough on this cruise ship that really makes it worthwhile to sail. So, yeah, a victim of their own success. I just kind of wish, instead of the arena, they just built a much larger theater in the aft of the ship. A traditional theater that could hold 1,100, 1,200 passengers, all facing the same direction, all facing the stage, and then I think they would not have this issue that they currently, unfortunately, have. Well, let me know what you guys think. Has anyone out there been on the Sun? Have you been on the Sun Princess yet? Does it matter to you that there's long lineups for the Broadway shows? Because maybe you don't go to the Broadway shows? Or if you love the Broadway shows, would you stand in line for 2 to 3 hours in order to get a seat that you wanted in the theater or in the dome? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.